Rama Hare प्रेमानंदे। बोलो प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। Maharaj, please take a seat. There is a seat for you. Okay. Okay. Maybe somebody can. Maybe yes, you can. Okay, he prefers. Okay. But he also has a good height, so he'll. It is good to have his auspicious shade projected on the screen. All right, thank you very much, dear devotees, for once again kindly assembling here for the second part of the presentation on God's unfulfilled desires. And we are continuing from where we left off yesterday. Krishna has relinquished the throne in Dwaraka, and he is no longer interested in the kingdom. This is where we paused yesterday. Nothing seems auspicious at this point of time, yet it is ironical that we are performing Mangalacharan, dear devotees. Nothing seems auspicious for Krishna or the Vrajavasis, but still we are hoping against hope that something auspicious will come out. So let's perform Mangalacharan, dear devotees. Most of us know these verses. You can kindly sing along with me. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nidhi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की। पंचभिः सह स्थातव्यं गंतव्यं पंचभिः सह वक्तव्यं न दुःखं पंचभिः सह। It is said in Shastra, panchabihi sah sthathavyam. If you stay at one place, stay with at least 5 people. That way, if you have a quarrel with one person, there are 4 other people to talk to. Gantavyam panchabihi sah. If you travel somewhere, travel with at least 5 people. So that if you fall into some difficulty, there are 5 people to protect you. And panchabihi sah vaktavyam. And if you want to speak something, there should be at least how many people? Oh my goodness. I heard 250, Prabhu. Is that correct? Na dukkham. There is no unhappiness if at least 5 are present. So my happiness is multiplied by 25 times. Because, if my maths is correct, yeah. So, my happiness is multiplied many-fold because all of you are present here. Hey, I was not good at maths, okay? Devotional service is already difficult. Huh? On top of that, you expect me to be good in math. Huh? Na dukkham panchabhisa. There is absolutely no unhappiness if at least 5 are present. So there are many more flowers here, dear devotees, all of you. You are like wonderful flowers of different sizes, different shapes and different fragrances. Welcome, dear devotees, to this afternoon session. I'd like to begin by describing what is the greatest of all in this entire universe. Dear devotees, this verse is in the meter Shardula Vikriditam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Let's sing together, dear devotees. Prithvi tavadiyam mahatsu mahati tadveshtanam varidhi pito saukalashodbhavena munina savyom nikhadyotavat tad vishnurdanujadinath damane purnam padam nabhavad devo sauvasati tvadiya hridaye tvatodhika kapara. Dear devotees, what is the greatest object in the entire planet Earth? It's a very simple answer. The Earth is the greatest object. But there is something greater than the Earth. Tad Veshtanam. There is something which covers the Earth, envelopes the Earth on all sides. What is that? Waters, oceans. Tad Veshtanam Varidhi. So the oceans are greater than the Earth. But the oceans are also insignificant in comparison to one person. Pitosau, who drank the entire ocean in one gulp. Does anybody know what is the name of that sage who? Agastya Muni. So greater than the oceans is Agatsya Muni, dear devotees. But Sa Vyomni Khadyotavat, that Agatsya is also a small constellation in the sky. Now there is something greater than the sky, dear devotees. Tad Vishnor Danujadi Nath Damane Purnam Padam Na Bhavat. This sky could not fit in the footsteps of one particular personality. Who was that, dear devotees? Vamandev. And that Dev, Vamandev, Vasati Tvadiya Hridaye, is residing in all of your hearts, dear devotees. So who could be greater than you, dear devotees? It is Vaishnav culture to glorify the audience, dear devotees. So thank you very much for kindly being present here today. I am especially thrilled by yesterday's presentation by His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj. Dear devotees, how many of us really loved yesterday's presentation? Today is a very special day. And I'm sorry, Maharaj, if I'm breaking any secret from your upcoming presentation. I don't know if you were going to speak this. But the author that Maharaj was speaking about, Sri Gadadhar Bhatta, his deities are named Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan. And dear devotees, the day in which Maharaj is speaking the Katha, Holi, Vasant Panchami, is the day the deities were found by him on the banks of the Yamuna. So it's a very wonderful coincidence that Maharaj will be speaking about Katha of Sri Gadadhar Bhatt on the day that he found his love of life, Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan. And this is the reason why the composition that Maharaj is speaking from Madhukeli Valli is dedicated to the pastime of Holi. So today is a very special day, dear devotees. And I am also in a very good way triggered by Swayam Bhagavan Keshav Maharaj. See, nowadays triggered has taken another meaning. Triggered means affected in a negative way nowadays. But I am in a very positive way triggered by what Maharaj said. And especially the comments that came, I am very much happy with the discussion that took place. Thank you, Maharaj, for kindly introducing this topic, and thank you for inspiring all of us. So I'll begin, we'll read the translation of this. Thank you, Prabhu.
Among all great entities, the greatest one is Mother Earth herself. The oceans are greater than her, for they completely cover her up from all directions. Greater than the ocean is Agastya Muni, who drank up all the oceans in a single gulp. Yet that same Agastya is a mere tiny star in the vast open space. Thus the space is greater than him. Yet during the pastime of Vamana conquering Bali Maharaj, this entire space fell short in front of Vishnu, and hence it is Vishnu who is greater than even the space. However, O dear devotees, that same Vishnu now resides in your hearts, being completely contained within it. Tell me now, can there be anything else in the world greater than your hearts?
So dear devotees, I am very happy to be speaking here because I have an audience that is Sahriday, like-minded. And it is so Sahriday that even the great speakers who are speaking, they are not hesitant to speak out their hearts confidently in front of the entire audience. So Maharaj gave the wonderful talk this morning, and you could see in the first comment was by His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj, and he also openly agreed, yes, for many years I also believed, this is what is happening. So this is where Guhyam Akhyati Prichhati is going on in such a nice manner. I am very fortunate to be amongst all of you. Dear devotees, let me take you to a typical Indian wedding. Because a typical Indian wedding has many things going on within it. And there is a very nice verse which speaks about a typical Indian wedding. Please repeat after me. Kanya varayate rupam Mata vittam pita shrutam Bandhava kulamichanti Mishtannamitere jana. So in a typical Indian wedding, there is something that happens, dear devotees. Kanya varayate rupam. The girl, the bride, she is young and she wants one thing mainly. What does she want? Rupam. She wants a beautiful husband. That is her main desire. Mata vittam. Her mother is more intelligent, more mature. She wants that her son-in-law should earn very well. Pita shrutam. The father, he wants the son-in-law to be well educated. Bandhava, the immediate relatives, kulam icchanti. They want to get related to a good family. Itare jana and other people, mishtannam, they come for the sweets. Really. So dear devotees, this is the translation. Prabhu, kindly read.
The bride desires a handsome man. Her mother desires a financially stable man. Her father desires a highly educated man. The immediate relatives desire a man belonging to a good family, whereas all others, they simply desire to have good sweets in the wedding feast.
The reason why I have quoted this verse, it's not out of context. Just as we go to an Indian wedding with different motivations in our heart, similarly sometimes we may come to a retreat with different motivations in heart, dear devotees. Some people may like the beautiful lasagna prasadam in the evening. It was really good yesterday. And although prasadam is very good, it is not the main point of the retreat. The main point, dear devotees, is that we can have some nice soul-stirring Hari Katha which we can take back from the retreat. Some nice discussions which will stay with us so that we can reminisce these memories when we are back in our day-to-day lives. And this is also the case with devotional service. Often we come to the path of bhakti and we have various motivations going on in our lives. And this is the reason why many of us sometimes feel stuck on the path of bhakti. And I appreciate very much the presentation this morning was discussing this very topic, that we have come with so many different motivations to this path. Therefore, retreats like this are a means to realign ourselves with the most important purpose that we have come to the Krishna Consciousness Movement, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. As long as Krishna is directly present in our consciousness, we are fulfilling the meaning of the society. And we might be struggling with many things, dear devotees. Many devotees struggle with many anarthas. But there is one anartha which is considered to be most formidable in spiritual life. Can anybody tell me which is that anartha? Vaishnava aparad is aparad, like it is a separate category. Anartha, something within the heart. Envy, okay. Lust. Some for some pride, for some envy, but the common denominator amongst most individuals is lust, काम. Dear devotees, we try for many years trying to get rid of kama or lust within the heart. Sri Rupa Goswami says everything has been tried already. It all ends in a failure. There's only one thing that is going to work. And what is that thing? He specifies in the Padyavali, dear devotees. This verse is in the meter Shardula Vikriditam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Let's sing together, dear devotees. Kashayanna cha bhojanadi niyaman no vavane vasato Vyakhyanadatva muni vrata bharai chetodbhava kshiyate Kintu sphita kalinda shailatanaya Tireshu vikridato Govindasya padaravinda bhajana Rambhasya leshadapi. In the second line he is saying Chitta udbhava, arising of lust in the heart. We want to stop it, but does anything work? Rupa Goswami says, let me list all the techniques that have been tried till now. Kashayan, wearing saffron cloth. Na, the second term is na. Kashayan na. Not by, simply by wearing a saffron cloth. Not simply by wearing a saffron cloth. And this na continues in the second phrase. Nacha bhojanadi niyaman. Some individual is thinking, I will eat less because all the senses are in a straight line, and we've been taught that so many times. Eating less means less agitation. It is not going to work, especially if you're a Gaudiya Vaishnava. Who are you trying to fool? It's not there in the culture. No va vane vasato. And not by residing in a solitary forest. It is not going to happen. And vyakhyana, then some very strict speaker will come and give lectures about how to be a strict brahmachari. And we will hear. And then we will become free of lust. No. Athava muni vrata bharat, or let me escape the society and take a vow of silence. It is not going to happen. Saubhari Muni tried all of that, dear devotees. Chitta udbhava na kshiyate. The rising of lust will not stop. Kintu, however, now my hopes are hanging on this however. However, Sphita kalinda shaila tanaya tireshu. On the wide banks of that daughter of the Kalinda mountain. Who is the daughter of Kalinda mountain? Kalindi, Yamuna. Vikridato. There is somebody playing. Who is sporting on the banks of Yamuna? Govinda. Govindasya padaravinda. Look at his lotus feet of Sri Govinda on the banks of Yamuna. Bhajana. And perform genuine bhakti with deep attachment. If you perform that bhajan with deep attachment, no. Bhajana arambha. If you even begin performing such bhajan with deep attachment, no. Bhajana arambhasya leshad. If you have a simple fraction of the beginning of genuine attachment to the lotus feet of Govinda, will Kamadev Cupid be immediately vanquished within the hearts, dear devotees. This is the means, the only means of destroying the most formidable enemy within the heart, dear devotees. This is the translation, Prabhu.
Not by wearing saffron cloth, not by restricting food and other sense activities, not by living in the forest, not by discussing philosophy, and not by observing a vow of silence, but only by the slightest beginning of genuine devotional service to the lotus feet of Lord Govinda, who enjoys pastimes on the Yamuna's wide banks, is Kamadev Cupid finally stopped.
So dear devotees, this doesn't mean that from today we will not wear saffron cloth. न हि निंदा निंद्यम निंदितुम प्रयोज्यते अपितु तद विपरीतस्य प्रशंसितुम. Shastra says whenever Shastra or Acharyas critique something, it is not for faulting that entity which is being critiqued, but it is instead for praising the opposite which is being glorified. So this is a very important principle. Sri Rupa Goswami is not critiquing the wearing of saffron dress or less eating of food, because he himself used to eat very less. But he is glorifying what is the opposite. This is a principle in all of Shastra. Criticism is employed often to glorify what is being praised in the verse. So dear devotees, there is one more desire within the heart which constantly gives us a lot of trouble. I would like to identify this desire today, and we will try to get rid of the desire. Alright? Can anybody tell me which desire within our hearts, especially the hearts of devotees, is giving us a lot of trouble? Lust we have already tackled. We go. Recognition, fame. These are weaker wrestlers in front of lust. Pradhan Mallanya. If you defeat the main wrestler, the others are automatically defeated. Greed. Okay. Okay. To enjoy separately from Krishna, yes. Dear devotees, these are all good answers. There is one more desire which is giving us a lot of pain. This is the desire to go back home, back to Godhead. Do you agree? Yes. You see? Prabhu, you should wake up every morning at 3:30. Huh? Otherwise, what will happen? You will not go back home. You should every day chant your 16 rounds, Prabhu. Otherwise, what will happen, Jaitam Prabhu? At the end of the day, it comes to not going back to Godhead. So I am waking, for many years I am waking up daily in the morning because I want to go back home, back to Godhead. And out of this fear I lived for more than a decade. And one fine day I am asking, when is that day going to come? I am dying 100 times before I am actually dead. So, the previous great devotees had given up this desire. Sri Rupa Goswami in the Padyavali quotes the spiritual master of Bhagavan himself, Sri Ishwar Puri. Sri Ishwar Puri is a sannyasi, and his heart is always agitated for Sri Krishna. He cannot stay in one place because of his agitated heart. So he moves here and there. One fine day, Sri Ishwar Puri comes to Varanasi, Kashi, which is the main abode of all the impersonal Vedantists and the sannyasis. Ishwar Puri himself has taken sannyas in Advaita Sampradaya. in the Sampradaya of Adi Shankaracharya. So, other Advaita sannyasis, they see him and they ask him, what are you doing? Chanting Krishna's Naam, this and that. Why don't you study Vedanta Sutra? There are many literature for getting liberated. Meditate on the Mahavakyas, the great statements. Tattvamasi, you are that. Aham Brahmasmi, I am the absolute impersonal Brahman. Stay here in Varanasi, take Kshetra Sannyas. Simply by dying in Varanasi, you will get liberated. Ishwar Puri already has a verse prepared for answering such individual. This is the verse that he spoke, it's in the same meter. Let's sing together, dear devotees. Yoga Shrutyupapatti Nirjana Vana Dhyanadva Sambhavita Swarajyam Pratipadya Nirbhayamami Mukta Bhavantu Dvija Asmakam Tu Kadamba Kunja Kuhara Pronmiladindivara Shreni Shyamal-dhama Nama Jushatam Janmastu Lakshabadhi. Ishwar Puri replied to that Vedanti, Yoga. There are many people here who come to Kashi, Varanasi and they perform Ashtanga Yoga for liberation. Shruti Upapatti, there are many who are teaching the Shrutis, the Vedas, and many who are learning it here also. Nirjana Vana, there are many forests around here in Kashi. Many yogis are staying there. Dhyana, they are meditating. Adva, some are visiting various holy places. Sambhavita, it is possible. Swarajyam Pratipadya, they may all attain impersonal liberation. Nirbhayamami, and they may become fearless after attaining liberation. Mukta Bhavantu Dvija, let all these twice born yogis get liberated. Indicated meaning, I don't care. Then what do you want? Asmakam tu, for me however, Kadamba Kunja. In the forest of Vrindavan there is a thick kunja of Kadamba trees. Pron Milad, there is something glowing from within that thick Kadamba trees. Indivara Shreni is glowing like a blue lotus flower, a host of blue lotus flowers. What is his name? No, I won't speak his name. Shyamala-dham, he is an abode of dark bluish beauty. Nama Jushatam, while tasting, relishing his holy name. Janma astu lakshavadi, may I spend millions of lives in this world. This is the attitude of God's own spiritual master, Sri Ishwar Puri. This is the translation.
If the twice born can achieve impersonal liberation by the practice of yoga, study of Vedas, solitary meditation in the forest, and visiting holy places, then let them become liberated in that way. As for us, we will spend hundreds of thousands of births chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna, whose splendid dark bluish complexion, glowing at the distance in a grove of Kadamba trees, is like a host of radiant bluish lotus flowers.
Dear devotees, it is important to get rid of this desire which has been troubling us for so long. This desire looks good within the heart of an individual who has just become a devotee. It doesn't look good in the heart of somebody who has been practicing for a long time. Ultimately, all religions, all varieties of religiosity are about give and take. Believe in this particular God or this particular messenger, follow the rules given by him, and in the end you will achieve the desired result. Believe in X, follow X, achieve the result. Everywhere you go, all around the world, in all the religions of the world, you will find this, including many parts of Vedic religion. Now, if we have become Gaudiya Vaishnavas, chant 16 rounds, follow 4 regulative principles, and in the end Krishna will give us the gift of taking us back home, back to Godhead. And what will happen, dear devotees, after going back to Godhead? Let me ask a question. What will happen after going back to Godhead? Let me stay here. Huh? We don't know what to do. It's like a free pass to Disney World. Leela. Yes, wonderful. So after going back to Godhead, we will live happily ever after. So in the end, it is about whose happiness? Our happiness, right? So that's what it is. It's a business transaction. Prabhu, did you chant your 16 rounds every day for the rest of your life? And did you follow 4 regulative principles? Yes? All right. Welcome. Back home, back to Godhead. So that is now not how it is supposed to work. This desire will give immense trouble within the heart. Sri Rupa Goswami is going to say in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Please repeat after me. Bhukti mukti sprihayava pishachi hridi vartate tavad bhakti sukhasyatra katham abhyudayo bhave. Pishachi, there are 2 ghosts which have captured us. What are the 2 ghosts? Not Bhukti and Mukti. Bhukti, Mukti, Spriha. The desire for Bhukti, material enjoyment, is the first ghost which gives us a lot of trouble. And second is Mukti Spriha, the desire for getting liberated. Yavat Pishachi, as long as these 2 ghosts have captured our heart, Tavat, till that time, Bhakti Sukhasya, that real joy of Bhakti, Katham Abhyudaya Bhavet, how will it arise, dear devotees? It is not possible. This is the translation.
As long as the witch-like desires for bhakti, material pleasures, and mukti, liberation from matter, have their grips over the heart of the sadhaka, how can the true happiness of bhakti ever make an appearance there?
Have any of you seen somebody who is haunted by a ghost? They look something like this. They cannot experience any happiness because the ghost has taken over their existence. And the ghost is enjoying through the body. So their happiness has become totally eclipsed. As long as this desire is troubling us, we will not be able to become happy. Dear devotees, today, let us take a vow. Alright? Will you repeat after me? Arey, develop confidence and say. I know we are undoing a big knot in our heart. Huh? But now is the time. Dear Madan Mohan, I hereby declare that I do not want to go back home, back to Godhead. Oh Madan Mohan, I only want one thing. Your unconditional love. This, dear devotees, is a Gaudiya Vaishnava. As soon as the desire for going back to Godhead is removed from the heart, now what is the purpose remaining for performing bhakti, dear devotees? This happened with Narad Muni in his previous life. Bhagavan came in front of him and said, Hantasmin Janmani Bhavan Mamam Drashtumi Harhati. Narad Muni, alas, I must tell you that you will not be able to see me again in this life. So for Narad Muni, what is remaining then? Because he will not be able to have a darshan of his Lord. So what remains then is to relish Krishna Prema, whether in union or in separation. Because this is one constant factor which is going to be there irrespective of whether we are in this world or in that world. So Krishna Prema is the most important desirable object that we want from Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan. Now, dear devotees, for attaining Sri Krishna Prema, we have given up our old desire of mukti. Now it's time to take up 100 million new desires. Are you willing to take on 100 million new desires?
Yes.
Alright, Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is now going to introduce 100 million desires that can take the place of the desire that has just been removed from within the heart. Alright, this is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's verse. I have no painting for this verse, dear devotees. Whenever I try to think, I cannot conceive of a painting for this verse. Still, a madman must sing, so I am singing, dear devotees. Alright, so this is the verse in the meter Vasanta Tilakam, same as Brahma Samhita. Please repeat after me. Dehar budani bhagavan yugapat prayacha Vaktrar budani cha puna pratidehameva Jivar budani kripaya prativaktrameva Nrityantu teshu tavanatha gunar budani. Bhagavan, in the first line he says, Oh Bhagavan, now this desire for liberation is no longer there in my heart. If it comes for your service, it comes, I will accept if it is favorable for your service. Otherwise, I do not want it. So what do you want? Yugapata prayacha, simultaneously give me Deha Arbudani, millions of bodies. Millions of bodies, no problem. And in every body that you give me, Vaktrar budani cha punaha pratidehameva. In every body, give me 1,000,000 mouths. 100 million mouths. Jivvar budani kripaya prativaktrameva. And in every mouth, give me 100 million tongues. Nrityantu teshu tavanatha. And on every tongue, dear Lord, let 100 million qualities of you always keep dancing. This is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his Anurag Valli. Anurag means genuine love. After the devotee develops genuine love for Bhagavan and gives up the desire for liberation, gives up the desire for personal happiness, this is what remains in the devotee's heart.
Oh Bhagavan, kindly grant me 100 million bodies at once. In each of these bodies, grant me 100 million mouths. In each of these mouths, grant me 100 million tongues. But in each of those tongues, let 100 million qualities of yours perform a wonderful dance.
This, dear devotees, is the purpose of the retreat. Now we can't have 100 million qualities in 3 days, but at least we'll try to have a few qualities of Shri Krishna. Well, right now he's behaving in a very cruel manner. So we are still exploring his qualities, dear devotees. Shri Krishna is in Dwaraka and he is lamenting the fact that he left Sri Vrindavan. Not only does he miss terribly miss the Vrajagopis, he also misses all the other residents of Vrindavan. All the residents. Even the trees of Vrindavan were very special. You cannot find such trees in Dwaraka. You know why, dear devotees? Because when the spring season began in Vrindavan, Krishna was around 3 or 4 years old. The first time he went to the nearby forest with his calves, the spring season manifested itself, and the trees bowed down and offered him the fruits, dear devotees. In the Srimad Bhagavatam it is mentioned how even the trees bowed down and offered fruit to Sri Krishna. Where else will we find such trees, dear devotees? It is not possible. Therefore, he misses everybody. Especially, there are 3 main devotees in Vrindavan whom he misses a lot. Please repeat the names of these devotees after me. Vrindavan, which is Vrinda Devi. Govardhan, Yamuna. In the Bhagavatam there is a verse, Vrindavanam Govardhanam Yamuna Pulinani cha Viksha Sid Uttama Priti Rama Madhava Yor Nripa. When Krishna and Balaram saw these 3 devotees, Vrinda Devi, Govardhan and Yamuna, they got unlimited happiness. They knew this is the perfect place for spending a most ideal childhood. Sri Krishna was gradually growing up as a child. The gopis used to make fun of him. Now such relatives are no longer to be found, dear devotees, in his life. When he grew up, the gopis started making fun because he was just learning to play the flute. Sometimes he would not play the correct notes. So this is our Bhagavan in Vrindavan. He loves to make mistakes on purpose. So he is learning to play the flute. And the gopis realize that he is not playing the correct tunes. So they come to him. Sri Kavi Karnapur, the unsung genius of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, composes a verse in the Ananda Vrindavan Champu. In the meter Vasanta Tilakam, same as Brahma Samhita. Let's sing together, dear devotees. He Krishna Matra Kuchachu Chukachu Shanepi Nalam Yade Tadadharoshta Putam Tavasit Tenadyate Katipayeshu Dineshva Kasmat Guroradhigata Kalavenu Vada. The elderly gopis come and they are poking fun. Hey Krishna, Matra Kuchachu Chukachu Shanepi Nalam. Few days ago we were seeing you used to drink your mother's breast milk. You were not even capable of properly locking on to the nipple of the breast of your mother with your lips. With those same lips, Katipayeshu Dineshu, we are seeing since the last few days, Akasmat, suddenly you have developed a new talent. The talent of playing the flute in a most incorrect manner, dear devotees. Kasmat Guru Radhikata, are which guru did you go to? Huh? Kalavenu Vada, to learn this beautiful flute play. This is such an age Krishna does not understand sarcastic remarks. Krishna takes it as a compliment. So there is a certain age after which children start understanding, this is a sarcastic comment. Huh? Right now he doesn't understand. Dear devotees, there is a very important philosophical question which was just generated. Is Bhagavan ignorant? Please tell me. Okay. No. Yes, no, yeah. He chooses to be ignorant.
He chooses to appear ignorant.
He chooses to appear. Wonderful. So dear devotees, this is the Gaudiya Vaishnava Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, who has all the defects of an ordinary human being. All the defects. In the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Srila Rupa Goswami will count 18 Ashtadasha Mahadosha, 18 major faults of human beings. And Rupa Goswami doesn't say anything there. Jiva Goswami in the commentary starts telling us how most of them are present in Krishna. So, author is great, commentator is greater. This is the translation of the verse. Kindly read.
Oh Krishna, that lower lip of yours was incapable of even properly suckling upon the breast nipple of your mother. Please tell us, which guru did you approach recently to quickly attain expertise in melodious flute play using that same lower lip?
So this, dear devotees, is Vatsalya Ras mixed with a small dash of Hasya Ras, dear devotees. Both are, they have Maitri Sthiti. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami says both rasas are friendly to each other. So we can mix both of them together as Sri Kavi Karnapur has mixed. So this is what Krishna remembers intensely in Dwaraka. And he is unable to have any access to these particular pastimes of childhood there. Forget about faulty flute playing itself has stopped totally in Dwaraka. The devotees also, especially, he loved to have pastimes with Mother Yashoda. Krishna remembers all the sweet pastimes that he had with Mother Yashoda. Sri Rupa Goswami recollects one such sweet pastime that took place in the Padyavali. The meter is Shardula Vikridam, same as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Let's sing together, dear devotees. Ardhonmilitalochanasya pibata paryaptamekam stanam sadya prasnuta dugdha digdham aparam hastena sammarjata matra changuli lalitasya vadane स्मेरायमाने मुहुर विष्णु क्षीर कणोरुधाम धवला दंत द्युति पातुवा. So Mother Yashoda, one particular night, she is trying to make him go to sleep by placing him on her lap, and he is drinking breast milk, dear devotees. While drinking breast milk, our Bhagavan getting little intoxicated because of the sweet breast milk. He loves it. Ardhon milita, he is half asleep. Lochanasya, with half closed eyes. Pibata, he is drinking. Rupa Goswami says, Paryaptam ekam stanam. One breast is enough for his hunger, dear devotees. But suddenly he notices, Sadhya, Prasnuta dugdha digdham aparam. From the other breast also milk is trickling down. Now our Krishna does not want to lose the most important resource of his childhood. So what he does is, he takes his hand, small hand, and he tries to rub it off from the chest of Mother Yashoda. Hastena sammarjata. Mother Yashoda doesn't understand why he is doing this. She thinks, he is caressing me. Mother Yashoda also, Matra Changuli Lalitas. She also starts caressing him under the chin. Vadane smeraya mane. Half asleep, he starts smiling. But there are only 2 teeth, dear devotees. Vishnu Kshira Kanorudhama Dhavala Danta Dyuti. May these two teeth of our Bhagavan, which appear whiter than even the milk ocean, protect all of you, dear devotees. So how should they protect us? I have spoken this last year. Whenever verses like these say, may the teeth protect you, may the arms protect you, may they protect you at the moment that you most need it, at the final moment of your lives. May this memory of Sri Krishna smiling and his two teeth suddenly coming out and shining be the final memory of your life before you close your eyes. So that next time you open your eyes, you will be in the direct presence of Sri Krishna, dear devotees. So this is how such memories protect us. This is the translation of the verse. Kindly read, Prabhu.
While drinking Mother Yashoda's breast milk with half-closed eyes, it was clear that one breast was sufficient for him. However, he saw milk dripping from the other breast and tried to wipe it off with his hands. Mother Yashoda too reciprocated by caressing his chin with her fingers, and he suddenly smiled to reveal his two white teeth. May these two effulgent teeth that are as white as the milk ocean protect you all.
These are the sweet pastimes. But our Bhagavan is not of a straightforward nature. His mind is very crooked, dear devotees. So Mother Yashoda is thinking, I have a very good son. How sweetly he smiles. She put him to rest. In the middle of the night, he starts blabbering in his sleep, dear devotees. In the middle of the night, our Bhagavan starts blabbering. Rupa Goswami records this blabbering in his Padyavali. Let's sing together, same meter. Shambho swagatamasya tamita ito Vamena padmodbhava Kraunchare kushalam sukham surapate Viteshano drishyase Itham swapna gatasya kaitabaripo Shrutva jananya gira Kim kim balaka jalpasityanuchitam Tutut kritam patuva. A few days earlier, Nanda Maharaj he asked Nanda Maharaj, who is the greatest person? Nanda Maharaj said, Indra is the greatest. We worship him every year. Acha, who is Indra? Are he is the king of heaven. Acha. So after a few nights, he is dreaming that he has become the king of heaven. And he is sitting on the seat of Indra. And Krishna is blabbering in his dreams. Shambho swagatamasya tam. Are Shambhu, Shiva, welcome, welcome. Huh? Sit here on my right hand side. Huh? Vamena padmodbhava. Oh, Brahma, born from a lotus. Come here, sit on my left side. Kraunchare. Oh, Kartikeya, the brilliant commander in general of the Devatas. Huh? Kushalam, is everything okay with you? Huh? I hope you didn't get hurt in a battle. Huh? Sukham surapate. Oh, Indra, I know you are second best now. Huh? I hope you are happy now. Huh? Vitesha no drishya se. Oh, Kuber, with all the wealth, you are not seen nowadays. Huh? What happened to you? Huh? Itham swapna gatasya kaitabaripo. In this way, he was fully immersed in his dreams. Shrutva jananya gira. Somebody heard this blabbering. Mother Yashoda woke up because of this blabbering. Shiva, come sit on my right side. Brahma, sit on my left. What nonsense is this? Kim balak, what nonsense, anuchitam? Thu! He wakes up from it. What happened? What nonsense are you speaking? Thut thut kritam patuva. May this act of spitting by Mother Yashoda protect all of you. Prabhu.
Shiva, welcome. Sit down. Brahma, you sit at my left. Kartikeya, auspiciousness to you. Indra, happiness to you. Kuvera, what happened? You are not seen much nowadays. Hearing Krishna say this, Mother Yashoda said, "Child, what nonsense are you saying?" And proceeded to spit in order to prevent any ill omens. May this action of Mother Yashoda will protect you all.
Very well. So this was one night. Next night, some other drama, dear devotees. Kavi Karnapur describes next night he didn't dream. In the middle of the night he got up and started crying. Now how many mothers here who have had the experience of children suddenly waking up in the middle of the night and crying loudly for no apparent reason? Alright. There are a few who have gone through the difficulty. Mother Yashoda also went through the same difficulty. This is Kavi Karnapur from Ananda Vrindavan Champu. Same meter. Let's sing together, dear devotees. Kim kshiram na kimuttamam dadinano Kim kurchika vanana Miksha kim nana kim tavepsitamaho Hayangavinam ghanam Dasyamo na vishidavatsanataram Kopyasvamatre grihot Panneno ruchirityudangulidala Shitam shumalokaya. The middle of the night he got up and started throwing the pillow around and crying loudly. Mother Yashoda, all the gopis got a little afraid and came, is he okay? What do you want, Krishna? Kim kshiram. Do you want fresh milk? Answer is in a single word. Na. Kimuttamam dadi. Do you want fresh yogurt? Na no. Na. Kim kurchikava. Do you want fresh milk fat? The essence of milk? Na na. What do you want? Amiksha kim, do you want buttermilk? Nana. Kim tavepsitamaho, then what do you want? Hayangavinam ganam, I want a very big ball of butter. Right now? 12 o'clock in the night. Give me else. That else is a threat. Give me that big ball of butter else. I'll keep crying. Okay, dasyamo will give. Na vishidavats, don't be unhappy, son. Na taram kupyasva, don't be angry. I'm very angry. Why? Matre grihotpanne no ruchir. I don't like anything prepared by my mother at home. So, how many mothers have the same experience? Don't worry, dear mothers. Evam parampara praptam. This confidential knowledge was received in Guru Parampara. So then what do you want? From where should we get? Which big ball of butter? Then he's smiling. Udanguli dala. You know that one in the sky? There's also one in the room here, dear devotee. You see that big ball of butter in the sky? Huh? That's what I want. So Mother Yashoda knows that this child is impossible. Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj were praying for many years, before they got a child. And Mother Yashoda prayed, but when she got a child, my goodness, that child took over her entire life, dear devotees. Now she has to pacify him. So Mother Yashoda then spoke some sweet lies to Krishna. Nowadays, dear devotees, in the schools they teach parents. I go for parent-teacher counseling. So they tell us, you should not lie to your children, because they will pick up these qualities. Earlier it was not like that. Mothers sometimes used to speak lies to children in order to convince them. So Mother Yashoda would often speak lies to Krishna, because in this situation also she has to lie to him. Sometimes on other days, Krishna would not wake up early in the morning. Is one good thing about the spiritual world is one person who doesn't come for Mangal Arti. Who is that? Krishna. The leader himself is missing. So it's not like Dwarka, wake up with alarm clock every morning. The king has to be there at that time. No, nothing like that. So Krishna wouldn't wake up early in the morning. Mother Yashoda would say, wake up. He said no. Then one day Mother Yashoda, she said to Krishna, Krishna, wake up. It's a beautiful day. Do you know which day it is? He said, no, which day? It's your birthday. Huh? Many gifts are waiting for you. Come on, get up quickly. He said, Acha, get me the gifts. I will open them right now. Na. First you have to take a bath. Then offer all the gifts to Lord Vishnu. Then only you open the gifts. So Krishna said, okay. He got up, rubbing his eyes. He went to the bathing area and she put a tumbler of warm water on him. After 1 or 2 tumblers, he realizes, Arey, my birthday was few days ago, right? By that time, it is too late. So, sometimes you are allowed to speak sweet lies to children. I hope my child is not hearing. So Kavi Karnapur says Mother Yashoda then tried to trick him by speaking sweet lies. This verse is in the meter Malini. I'll sing it. Every line I'll break into 2 parts. Please repeat after me. Kalayana pitareta Dhantahayang aviram Pratarati kalahamso Vyomaviti tadagam Ahamapi kalahamsam Prarthaye khelanarthi Tadupana yata yavan Naishaparam prayati. Mother Yashoda is little fed up. He's asking for a big ball of butter in the sky. She says, Kalayana Pitar. Now she uses a slang word, dear devotees. I told you Vrindavan means some little slang should be there. Now this slang is often understood in Indian languages. I'll try to speak it first in Hindi. Those who understand Hindi will laugh immediately. Alright, huh? Then I'll try to translate it. It doesn't give the exact punch in English. Mother Yashoda said, Pitar, are mere baap. So, alright. Keshav Maharaj, how do we translate that in English? Oh my father. That is the punch is lost. As it is said, much is lost in translation. Huh? So, oh Krishna, etad hantana hayyanga vinam. This is not a big ball of butter. Acha? Then what is it? Pratarati kalahamso vyoma tadagam. Just see, there is a big dark river in the sky. She's pointing to the host of clouds. There's a big river in the sky, and this is a white swan swimming in that river. Ah, really? Aham api kalahamsam. I also want a swan. Prarthaye khelana. Nanda Maharaj never got me any swan for playing. All I have are these ugly peacocks. Tadupanna yata yavan. Bring it quickly. I am seeing it is moving. Nahi shaparam praya. It should not go to the other side. So every night, something or the other is going on, dear devotees. So, in this way, Sri Krishna remembered all his childhood pastimes. Even in Dwaraka, he remembered. And then he grew up, and something within him started changing. He started developing some feelings of attraction for Sri Radha, which is technically called Purva Rag. And then after some time they got to meet each other at Govardhan. And then there was spring season, and spring season we have one celebration. Which celebration is it, dear devotees? Holi. So Gaurahari Prabhu said I should also speak something. Okay, so one nice verse from Sri Gopal Champu about what Holi in Vraja is actually about. What is the essence of Holi in Vrindavan, dear devotees? Alright? Because in Dwarka, you know what happens. In Dwarka, the sophisticated queens, the clothes should not get dirty, and little here, little here. Bas, enough. How will that satisfy Krishna? So Sri Jiva Goswami specifies in Gopal Champu in the meter Vasanta Tilakam, same as Brahma Samhita. Okay, let's sing together. Narmanga gali rudaka kshipayantra yuktir dandi prapatana nivartana keli riti कांताकृति व्यतिकृत ग्रहणम सखीनाम साहायकम युधि बभौ हरिहोरिकाया. First and foremost, the first thing, Narmanga Gali. What is meaning of, you are laughing, what is meaning of Gali? Slang is abusive words. Abusive words. Narmanga Gali. Because abusive words are Anga. Gali is Anga. The most important limb of Narma, loving relationships. I hope you are able to understand. What is the most important limb of a loving relationship in Sri Vrindavan? You have to speak the technical name. What is the technical name? Gali. Alright, what is the most important factor? Gali. Abusive words. In ISKCON also we have one Gali. Anybody whom we don't like, rascal. Alright. It can be used to denote a wide variety of individuals. Anybody who forgot to wash his plate after eating, Right from that person till the person who committed a big financial fraud in the temple. All right? This entire range of people are under the umbrella of one term. That's why I say ISKCON is an organization for Vaidhi Bhakti, but there is also elements of Raganuga Bhakti in ISKCON. Because we have successfully managed to institutionalize some galis within our society. Narmanga gali. Giving some abusive words, loving abusive words. Udaka kshipa yantra yuktir. And to use Udaka kshipa yantra, instruments for spraying water. So this refers to the water guns. And Dandi Prapatana, taking sticks and threatening the other party, dear devotees. Nivartana Keli Riti, and the other party will pretend to be threatened and fall down on the ground. Kanta Kriti Vyatikrita Grahanam Sakhinam, attacking and counter-attacking between the Sakhis and Sri Krishna. Sahayakam Yudhi Babau Hari Ho Rikaya. These are all the elements that took place during the holy festival of Sri Hari, dear devotees. This is the translation. Please read.
During holy celebrations, there was Gali giving loving, abusive words, which are a very important part of a loving relationship. Besides Gali, there was profuse use of water, spraying guns, etc., making others fall down by using sticks, attacks and counterattacks by the gopis and Krishna.
Alright, so dear devotees, when we hear such descriptions, sometimes our mind becomes a little, it is a little strange to hear that, they're attacking using sticks, and when we go to Vrindavan, we actually see that, people are being attacked with sticks. So, it happens in a way that is most pleasing to Krishna, dear devotees. Nowadays, what takes place is slightly different from what used to happen 5,000 years ago. As long as the fun is there, till that time, all these activities are carried out. And nobody gets seriously hurt. Obviously, their bodies are not material, so nobody gets hurt. But nobody's mood gets disturbed in this loving play. So what happens in a gap of 5,000 years, many things get introduced, many things get removed. The original culture is a culture of sweetness and loving reciprocations. So we should keep that image in our mind, dear devotees. Holi is a very good time. There is something which is equivalent of Holi. There is something which is equivalent of Holi, which is often spoken of in the Western world. It is what you can call a pillow fight, dear devotees. A pillow fight is also similar in some ways because you get to attack the other person and bruise their ego without actually hurting them. Right? So, if today we are not able to celebrate Holi, Gaur Hari Prabhu, can we at least... I have noted some individuals, and I want to get back at them, Prabhuji. All we need is a lot of cotton. I don't know where that cotton is hanging, Prabhu. So, a pillow fight often helps us relieve ourselves of pent-up emotions of grudge that we may have against somebody else. So, Holi is a similar kind of exercise where individuals who may have, you did that against me that day, Gaur Hari Prabhu, you neglected me that day, I'll show you, today is Holi. So, that is what Holi is good for, dear devotees. Even in the spiritual world, these emotions exist, and that is why this festival is celebrated. Now, dear devotees, Sri Krishna also thinks very lovingly about the other pastimes that took place, especially the pastimes with the gopis, especially the Dan Leela, which took place at Govardhan. Yesterday I had specified a verse from that where Krishna suddenly stopped Sri Radha and her eyes developed a bouquet of emotions which captured the mind of Sri Krishna. But if our Sri Krishna was so easy to be captured, then there would be no fun. Immediately Sri Krishna's friends came to his rescue and started demanding toll tax. So dear devotees, when Krishna stopped Sri Radha and the other gopis, at that point of time his friend Subal Sakha came and demanded, first and foremost, you should pay respect to our chief toll collector. Vishaka started laughing at that point of time. We say, we very well know how respected, how much this prince of cowards is respect worthy. Don't tell us, we already know. But we have today taken a vow of carrying fresh butter to a fire sacrifice. So Bhaguri Muni is organizing fire sacrifice, and we have decided to carry fresh butter to this fire sacrifice, and Purnamasi Devi has forbidden us to bow in front of anyone except a Dvija. But Madhu Mangal is Dvija. No, but you are asking us to bow down in front of this cowherd. We will now not bow down. So Arjun Saka, he says, our chief toll collector also has taken a vow today. So you have also taken a vow, he has also taken a vow. So there is no harm if you both pay respects to each other. Let's find a middle ground, okay? You pay respect to him, he'll pay respect to you. So then Lalita Sakhi asks, what vow? And then Krishna replies, dear devotees, this is from Sri Rupa Goswami's Dan Keli Kaumudi. This is the long term that I'll try to speak, alright? Will you try to repeat after me? Yes. Nityam abalar buddha dvija vasana danam nama vratam. Bolo? Okay, I'll speak again. Nityam abalar buddha dvija vasana danam nama vratam. Not that. I will speak slowly, now you repeat, okay? Nityam, Abala, Arbuda, Dvija, Vasana, Danam, Nama, Vratam. Okay. Now first term is, you can see the numbers I have given to the terms, okay? First term is Nityam. What does Nityam means? Everybody speak. Daily. Abala, Arbuda, Dvija, Vasana, Danam. So this is the name of the vow. Prabhu, kindly read what is the name of the vow.
The vow of donating cloth every day to 100 million helpless Brahmanas.
Is there something behind what Krishna is saying?
Yes.
Krishna can't be so straightforward. Let's try one more time, dear devotees, alright? What did Lalita ask? Krishna's reply? Nityam abalar buddha dvija vasana danam nama vratam. Now please repeat the terms. Nityam. What is, say the meaning, dear. I will say the term. Abala. Arbuda. Dvija. Vasana. Danam. This is the name of the vow.
The daily vow of kissing 100 million helpless ladies passing through this toll gate.
Now all of you can begin understanding why he is given gali in Vraja. Such people will not understand by sweet words. Such people require sharp gali. That is what Sri Krishna misses the most about Vraja. Sri Radha immediately understood what is the meaning behind what this person is saying. And she cannot express it openly, because if she expresses the second meaning, he will deny and say no, he will quote the first meaning. Dvija also means teeth. Dvija means twice born. Teeth take birth twice. Milk teeth and permanent teeth. Therefore another name of Dvija is what? Teeth. So the gopis are expert in 64 arts. One of the art is to make puns, P-U-N. So this is one of the 64 arts. So this is what they are expert at, decoding these verses.
But what does teeth has to do here with kissing?
Teeth is Dvija, and Vasana is what covers the teeth. What covers the teeth?
Lips.
And Danam. The term Danam is made from Dudai Dane, Sanskrit verb Dudai, for donation. Do Avakhandane, another verb is also there which will result in the same term, to bite. So this is two verbal roots used to create the same term, dear devotees. I'm sorry for getting in technicality, but this is what it was. Rupa Goswami is a poetic genius par excellence. Raghunath Das Goswami got happy by reading this after he was experiencing separation from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So dear devotees, this was the love of the Vrajavasis. Krishna got so helpless in Dwarka, finally Uddhav came to know, Rukmini came to know, and all the queens came to know. And then when it was no longer hidden, Krishna started crying and he was dejected in such a way. All the elders got together and they got worried. Krishna was only acting as the king. Actually, who was the king? Does anybody know? Ugrasen. Ugrasen was father of Kamsa. And Kamsa's mother is named Padmavati. So Padmavati got even more scared, because Krishna was saying, oh, I could not do anything for the Vrajavasis. I could not give them anything at all. Padmavati got scared. After so many years of spending in prison of our own son, finally we got back our kingdom, and this Krishna may end up donating the entire kingdom to the Vrajavasis. This fear has entered the heart of Padmavati. Padmavati then suggests something to all the assembly members in Dwarka so that Krishna can get rid of his unhappiness towards the Vrajavasis. This is from Brihad Bhagavatamritam of Sanatan Goswami. Please repeat after me. Sarvam tadgarga hastena ganayetva kananushah dviguni kritya madbhartra tasmai deyam shape swayam. Krishna, why should you lament? You know, you have spent 11 years in the home of Nanda Maharaj. We know Nanda and Yashoda are not your actual parents. But you feel some indebtedness towards them. We will do one thing. Krishna, don't feel indebted. We will call Gargamuni. And Gargamuni is very expert in calculations. Gargamuni will calculate every morsel of food that Nanda Maharaj fed you. We will double the amount and pay back to the Vrajavasis. This is what Padma said to Krishna. Krishna got the shock of his life after hearing this. He had enough in Dwarka. This is the translation, Prabhu. Please read.
Krishna, why should you lament? Just listen to my advice. While living 11 years in the home of Nanda Gopa, you two brothers enjoy various comforts. For that, I swear, my husband will repay Nanda twice over. My husband will see to it that Garga Muni calculates the amount to the smallest fraction and delivers it by his own hand. And if Nanda owes you payment for tending his cows, let him pay you or not, as he wishes.
So we will pay Nanda Maharaj for whatever he fed you. And we don't expect Nanda Maharaj to pay you anything for all the cows he made you herd as a cowherd. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say this is called Padma Niti. Padma Niti. Sometimes after spending decades in devotional service, we start saying, "Oh Krishna, I have served you in this way for 10 years. I have chanted so many rounds. I have given so much for you. In return, Krishna, you take me back home, back to Godhead." I hope you are able to understand. This, dear devotees, was given a specific name by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Niti, the logic of one person. Which person? Padmavati. Padma Niti. Many of us might have lived our lives through this Padma Niti. When I become a senior devotee, I will render so much service and I will make Krishna happy. Then Krishna will welcome me with open arms. "Oh Hari Parshad, for 50 years you rendered service in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And you did so much seva, and you did this, you did that. In return, welcome back home, back to Godhead." Is this the sort of contract we want with Sri Krishna, dear devotees?
No.
How many of us want to end up in Dwarka? Please raise your hands. No takers for Dwarka? Are? Padma Niti will get you exactly there, dear devotees. That's what it is about, right? Give and take. That's what all relationships are about. Not in Vrindavan, dear devotees. Not in Vrindavan. When Uddhav heard this, Uddhav went into further depression. Uddhav knew when Krishna went to Mathura for the first time, he killed Kamsa. He sent the ornaments of Kamsa and some of his wives back to Vrindavan. As a gift, see, I have won over him. This is for all of you, my dear Vrajavasis. At that point of time, what the Vrajavasis had said is this: Tadasmat jivanam dhigde tishthet kanthe dhunapiya nanda gopamscha dhigdhigye tam tyaktvaitanyupanayan.
The Vrajavasis said, "Oh, how very painful. Krishna now thinks we want such presents from him and deserve this kind of mercy. Therefore, damn our lives and the breath that still moves in our throats, and damn Nanda and the coward men. They should have left these things behind and instead brought Krishna himself."
They cursed Nanda Maharaj when he came back with jewels from Mathura. Because the most important jewel was left behind, dear devotees. So this is the expectation of the Vrajavasis from Sri Krishna. And Padma is thinking, we will give double of what Nanda Maharaj fed. Dear devotees, let us never ever have Padma Niti in our lives, ever. When Krishna came in Dwapar Yuga, he placed a lot of conditions in the Bhagavad Gita. Be free from lust, anger, greed, and regulate your senses, this, that, 100 conditions. Therefore, after he spoke Bhagavad Gita in Dwapar Yuga, nobody became a devotee in Dwapar Yuga. There was no book distribution that took place in Dwapar Yuga. Only after Krishna dropped all the conditions in Kali Yuga and appeared as whom? Without any conditions. Patra vicharanam na kurute. Without any considerations, he decided to give it to everybody. That is the time when millions of devotees were made. Krishna is not a good preacher, dear devotees. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has dropped all conditions, what is our duty? What should we do in reciprocation? Drop all considerations. Please repeat. Dear Krishna.
Dear Krishna.
Dear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Dear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
I drop my consideration of going back home back to Godhead. In return for the sadhana that I have performed. I unconditionally surrender to you. This, dear devotees, is eligibility for becoming a devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dear devotees, don't worry about lust, anger, greed. In our sampradaya, we worship lust, anger and greed. Sri Jiva Goswami, in his introduction to his commentary on Dan Keli Kaumudi, he composes a beautiful verse. Dan Keli Kalau Lupta Dharma Maryadayor Bhaje Radha Madhavayoh Kama Lobha Dambha Madanritam.
Worship the lust, greed, deceit, pride, and falsities of Radha and Madhava, who have lost all sense of worldly religiosity while displaying their loving quarrel in the pastime, such as exacting dana, etc. Thanks.
Dear devotees, are we supposed to give up Kam or worship Kam? After reading the verse, what is the conclusion?
Worship.
But whose Kam? Radha and Krishna's Kam. We are worshippers of Kam of Sri Radha and Krishna. Those who are second initiated will know what is the final mantra that they chant when they chant their Gayatri. We are worshippers of Kama, Krodha, Lobha and Moha that occurs between Sri Sri Radha, Madan Mohan, dear devotees. With this I will pause my speech. Yadatra skhalitam kinchit vidvam saha purayantu tat yadatra saushthavam kinchit tad guroreva me nahi. Yadatra skhalitam kinchit. It is possible I might have made some mistakes while speaking. If I have made any mistakes, Vidvam saha, you are learned devotees, pura yantu tat, please correct my mistakes. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit. But if there is anything nice, please remember, tad guroreva. It belongs to my Guru Janas, my Diksha Guru, Sri Srimad Radha Govinda Das Goswami Maharaj, my Siksha Gurus, all the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, all the God brothers of Srila Prabhupada, all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas from all the families of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the past, in the future, and also in the present, including all of you who are also my gurus. It belongs to you. May nahi, it doesn't belong to me. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. So today we should say Jai to Gaura Hari Prabhu, who is organizing so nicely. So dear devotees, Gaura Hari Prabhu ki Jai. Na. Na griham ityahur grihini griham uchyate. What is a man without his wife? So we have forgotten to say, thank you to the wonderful support behind Gaur Hari Prabhu. Mother Vaijayanti, thank you so much, Mataji, for she is the actual owner of the home where they stay. Only his name is outside the door, but inside the home we know who rules. So, am I correct, Prabhuji? Yes, he agrees. He has to agree. Yeah, I speak from experience. I speak from experience. Okay. So I thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Vajayanti Mataji, so much. And I'd like to invite reflections beginning from the senior devotees, senior Vaishnavas, if they'd like to give some reflections. Shachinandan Maharaj, Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj. And then if we have time, then we'll also go to question and answers.
I must admit, at the moment I'm speechless. Really, I have been listening very attentively. Maybe something will come after some time, but at the moment
Okay.
was very well presented, really. To bring out the sweetness of Vrindavan is not easy because of its highly developed and spiritual nature, but by quoting the verses and then you were able to bring the context in which the verse appears. We can't understand the verse so easily without the context. A lot of sweetness was flowing. So I have nothing to say at this moment. I'm just very grateful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Maharaj, if you'd like to say.
I think I'm in the same category as Maharaj. Very, very beautiful, mesmerizing, heart-touching, sweet. Very beautiful. I just have a question. When our Vaishnavacharyas in their songs, they're praying for some perfection of some position in the spiritual world to serve Radha and Krishna in some way in the spiritual world. Can you just say how that also fits in? Because you very beautifully explained how our desire is not to go back to the spiritual world, and so how does and then this aspect, maybe you could share something.
Yeah, thank you Maharaj. So Srila Rupa Goswami has clarified in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu itself. So I'm quoting the direct words of Sri Rupa Goswami, because sometimes the acharyas have prayed for a certain type of position in the spiritual world, and every morning also we pray Seva Adhikar Diye Karo Nija Dasi. So how does that fit with giving up the desire for mukti? So Sri Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Eastern Division, second wave, verse number 55. Dear devotees, kindly sing after me. Atra tyajyata yaivokta mukti pancha vidhapiche salokyadis tathapyatra bhaktya nati virudhyate. Atra in this Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, I have said, Rupa Goswami, I have said, Tyajyataya, it should be given up. What should be given up? Mukti. Liberation should be given. I have said, Panchavidha, all 5 types. But Salokyadis, but 4 of them, except for that one which we want to totally reject. Which one do we want to totally reject? Sayujya. Except for that, the remaining 4, Salokyadi, Bhaktya na ati virudhyate, are not very contradictory to Bhakti. You understand the attitude? They're not very contradictory to Krishna Prem. So, if they come by their own, if it facilitates Krishna's happiness, it's okay. So, this is the exact mood of Sri Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. They are not very contradictory to prema. Therefore, as long as they are not contradictory to prema, they are facilitating prema. If Krishna's happiness increases, then it is okay. So this is an expert Vaishnava. Put it on Krishna. Let it be Krishna's headache. Liberation is not my headache. Liberation is whose headache? Krishna's headache. That's it. So that is, I hope Maharaj that answers the query.
Like this Bhagavatam, Vinamat Sevanam Jana.
Yeah. That verse was also quoted in Bhakti Rasamrita. Many verses were quoted. One of that was this. Salokya sarishti samipya sarupya ekatvam apyuta diyamanam na grihnanti vina mat sevanam jana. (329:13). A pure devotee does not accept any kind of liberation. Salokya sarishti samipya sarupya or ekatva sayujya, even though they are offered by the Supreme Lord, something has not fully come out in the translation. Vina mat sevanam, unless this liberation is accompanied with my seva, with my devotional service. So till that time, a devotee does not accept any of these types of liberation without my service. So going back to the spiritual world is not a permanent pass to Disneyland, go and be merry. First comes seva, then comes the liberation. Right. So I hope Maharaj that satisfies the query. Yes. Gaura Hari Prabhu, you have to tell me when to stop, because I am madman. I will come. You have taken the risk of inviting me. No. You have to bear the consequences. So you tell. Yes, Prabhu.
I'll offer a short comment.
Sure. Yeah.
Prabhu, with your needle today, you made us cry tears of happiness.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It is the success of my presentation if I can make all of you cry, dear devotees. That is the success of the presentation. If you have managed to cry, then I have succeeded in the purpose for which I came, dear devotees. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Bhagavad Dharma, Prabhu. Yes, thank you. All right.
For sure, you managed to make us laugh.
Okay. No, laughing. Cry. I will be happy when I see you cry, Prabhuji. Okay? Yes.
Hi, Krishna Bhagavan. I had a short question. You brought out this beautiful point of unconditional service in a way, that we render service or we lead our life for the pleasure of the Lord. And I was reflecting how I don't want this to just be a lip service that I just say. But sometimes when we render service, we tend to think, where is my nature, and etc., etc. And so much so that it's mostly, okay, yes, we try to go out of our comfort zone, but still it's so much to develop this attachment to devotional service. And also I feel, if I reflect personally, distaste to material attachment is important, like to be disgusted with the material world. So how do you think, as individuals who are still budding in the practice of devotional service, that this unconditional love for Krishna, to render service unconditionally, is not just lip service for us?
Right. You are saying being disgusted with the material world is also important for us. I would like to ask you, where did you learn this? Who taught you? Because maybe we need to revise this position. You are not supposed to be disgusted with the material world. And I will not speak without pramana. You are supposed to be semi-disgusted, not overtly disgusted. Semi-disgusted sorry. Yadrichaya mat kathadau jata shraddhastu yah puman na nirvinno nati sakto bhakti yogosya siddhidah. Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto chapter 20 verse number 8, Krishna is saying to Uddhav, how does a bhakti yogi achieve perfection? You kindly read the translation.
If somehow or other, by good fortune, one develops faith in hearing and chanting my glories, such a person, being neither very disgusted with nor very much attached to material life, should achieve perfection through the path of loving devotion to you.
So therefore I asked you, where did you develop that understanding that one has to be fully disgusted with the material world? Amongst the 64 limbs of bhakti, Sri Rupa Goswami could have easily placed Vairagya, detachment and disgust from the world, as one of the 64 limbs. There are negative limbs in the 64 limbs, but Rupa Goswami does not include Vairagya as any one of the limbs in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Vairagya is not a limb within Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Why? Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in commentary to this verse explains. Too much attachment to material life, eligibility is Karma Yoga. Too much disgust, eligibility is Jnana Yoga. Neither too attached nor too disgusted is eligible for the middle path, Bhakti Yoga. So, Sri Rupa Goswami gives the answer to your query. ज्ञान वैराग्य योर भक्ति प्रवेशायोपयोगिता ईशत् प्रथममेवेति नांगत्वमुचितं तयो. Jnana Vairagya, these two things, Jnana and Vairagya, Rupa Goswami says, I'll never consider them as limbs of bhakti. Never. Bhakti Praveshaya Upayogita, they are useful only for entering into bhakti. Later bhakti takes over and ensures all the other remaining Vairagya and Jnana. You don't have to cultivate separately. Ishat Pratham, little bit of detachment from the world is needed. Before you became a devotee, you thought there's something wrong with the world. That's it. That was what was needed. Ishat, little bit. Na angatvam, don't start making it a limb of your bhakti. Otherwise something will happen. What will happen? Jiva Goswami says in the commentary, Jiva Goswami, Vairagyam chatra brahma jnana upyogi eva. Basically he says that Vairagya produces chitta kathinya. It makes the heart very hard. There was a comment this morning. Who gave that comment? I don't, maybe is not there. So that the heart has become very hard after so many years of rigorous practice. You don't have to rub your heart with a sandpaper of Vairagya and spoil the entire experience of Bhakti Ras. Little bit of Vairagya is needed. But what if I am not able to control my senses? No problem in the beginning. No problem. Why? Krishna doesn't think bad of you. Where does Krishna say it? Well, I'll show you in the Bhagavatam. What Krishna says about devotees who are not able to control their senses. बाध्यमानोऽपि मद्भक्तो विषयैरजितेन्द्रियः प्रायः प्रगल्भया भक्त्या विषयैर्नाभिभूयते. 11th canto, 14th chapter, verse number 18. Kindly read the translation.
My dear Uddhav, if my devotee has not fully conquered his senses, he may be harassed by material desires. But because of his unflinching devotion for me, he will not be defeated by sense gratification.
This is Krishna's opinion of devotees who are not able to control their senses. This verse should not be taken as a license for indulging in sense gratification, dear devotee. Because if we cheat somebody, we'll end up cheating ourselves. If we have genuinely some hriday daurbalya, some weakness of heart, then this is Krishna's opinion about those who are not able to control their senses. What we are supposed to do is develop as soon as possible a taste for bhakti ras. As soon as possible a taste for bhakti ras. Till that time you may waver in, because there is no other option to fall back on. Vishaya vinivartante, today the verse was quoted. Vishaya vinivartante, you may forcibly get rid of sense gratification. No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicits, no gambling. Niraharasya dehina, keep your body starved of sense gratification. Rasa varjam, but the ras will remain. The desire will remain. But rasopiyasya, this ras will also go back, will go away. Param drishtva, as soon as you see param. Param what? Param rasam drishtva. If you see a higher rasa, then immediately all this lower rasa will go away. So the Rupa Goswami is very expert. Stay with Rupa Goswami very quickly. Bhakti ras, very quickly. Open access to Bhakti ras, dear devotees. Nothing else doing. Simply stay at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami. Simply stay at the lotus feet of Rupa Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swa Padantikam. What is the meaning of Padantikam? Lotus feet. The shade of lotus feet. Pada also means poetry. Pada Antikam. When will Rupa Goswami give me the hidden meanings of his poetry? Dear devotees, there are dual meanings. Krishnadas Kaviraj, he is also Kaviraj who composed this verse. There are hidden meanings within the poetry. When will Rupa Goswami give me the final hidden meanings within his poetry? So that is what we want. Rupa Raghunath Pade Haibe Akuti Tabe Hama Bujabo Se Yugala Piriti. Rupa Raghunath Pade, in the pada, in the feet, in the poetry of Rupa Raghunath, when I will be attached, then I will understand what are the loving affairs of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. So this is what we need to do as soon as possible. Urgent basis. Urgent basis, dear devotees. Please do not delay. Especially after Diksha, please do not delay. Every day, direct relishment of Krishna Bhakti Ras should be made a part of our lives. So I hope that answers your query. Alright. Thank you. Gaur Hari Prabhu, are we supposed to stop, or is the Parshad delayed even today?
Well, no, we can at least up to 1:30 we can go on.
Oh, we can 1:30? I'm very happy. Chalo, huh? Who is next? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much. I think that was literally the most beautiful presentation I ever heard in my life. I have a question regarding the point of your yesterday's presentation about the point that Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So in Krishna book, Prabhupada writes an interesting statement that I couldn't quite understand. He says, Krishna in his original identity returned with Nanda Maharaj and stayed with the gopis and Madhya Yashoda in his bhava expansion. Krishna and Balaram remained in Mathura, not in their original forms, but in their expansions as Vasudev and Sankarshan. The real Krishna and Balaram were in Vrindavan in their bhava manifestation, whereas in Mathura they appeared in their prabhava and vaibhava expansions. So, first of all, could you explain what those terms mean? Because as far as I know, bhava just means a spiritual emotion. And so, yeah, what is this bhava manifestation?
Right. So what Srila Prabhupada here is trying to say is following exactly in the footsteps of Sri Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami in Laghu Bhagavatamrit later breaks open a small secret, and I was going to quote this verse tomorrow, but now let the Rathena Mathuram Gatva Dantavakram Nihatya Cha Spashtam Padme Puranesya Krishnasya Vrajagatihi. Rathena Mathuram Gatva. Krishna left on a chariot to Mathura, and then he killed many demons beginning with Kamsa. Dantavakram Nihatyacha, and then he killed Dantavakra. After killing Dantavakra, Spashtam, it is clearly mentioned in Padma Purana, Krishnasya Ukta Vrajagati. Krishna returned back to Vraja. After how much time did Krishna return to Vraja? This is another question. He secretly returned to Vraja for some time. So Rupa Goswami explains, Vraje Prakata Lilayam Trin Masan Viraho Muna. Krishna went to Mathura and the separation lasted for 3 months, dear devotees. After 3 months, Krishna secretly visited Vrindavan for some time. Tatrapi, even when Krishna was in Mathura, not in Vrindavan, now this is the part of your question. Ajani Vispurti Pradurbhava Upama Harehe. His Pradurbhava, his Bhava. So even when he was not present, so called not present, still the gopis used to perceive him in Vrindavan, but only one individual gopi at a time. But all of them saw him together after 3 months when he returned back secretly. But he returned for some time and then he again left. But this time when he left, dear devotees, that time Sri Jiva Goswami describes in the Sandarbhas that it is Vasudeva expansion and Sankarshan expansion who leave, and Shyam Sundar and Baladev, they stay within Vrindavan but not manifest in front of everyone's eyes, only to select Vrajavasis at specific times. So this is part of Leela, so that separation can also become tasteful, because we have to relish separation. But how much separation? 3 months is the time which is given. So what was the duration of separation, dear devotees? 3 months. Initial duration is 3 months. This is called pravas. Technically it is called pravas. Then after 3 months he came back and left again. And then again separation is there. Although Krishna has stayed back and he will manifest only to select devotees at certain points of time. From general vision he has again gone back, and then he went to Dwarka. It is called Sudur Pravas. Sudur Pravas is long separation. That is when the most intense feelings of separation will be brought out. And we will cover some of those tomorrow. So philosophically it seems like somewhat difficult to understand, but once you understand this particular line of thought given by Sri Jiva Goswami, then it becomes easy. Actually, Krishna was not born in Mathura. So he was born in Vrindavan. Vasudeva was born in Mathura. And then we know that birth pastime. So that is what it is, basically. So one who was born in Vrindavan stays in Vrindavan. What goes out is he who came from outside. Who came from outside? Vasudeva. So it is he who is going to go outside. That is the answer to your query. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Gaur Hari Prabhu.
Thank you so much. I got a doubt as we were going through the presentation, especially with this slide that lust is going away. If we have only the slightest beginning of genuine devotional service, and I thought that I should have the slightest beginning, but still it seems lust is quite around and inside and all around. So is that like exaggeration of Shastra to give us some hopes, or is it
all right, so I think should be here. Last year I had shown a particular verse. I'd like to show that verse again because some things need a slight revision. Okay. Sri Jiva Goswami specifies this, and this is in Gopal Champu. This is in the meter Malini. We'll sing the verse and then I'll explain what he's trying to say. Yadamita rasa shastre Vyanji vaidagdhya vrindam Tadanam apina vetum Kalpate kamiloka Tadakhilam api yasya Prema sindhau na kinchin Mithunamajita gopi Rupame tad vibhati. Jiva Goswami says, Yad amita rasa shastre. In this material world there is unlimited rasa shastra, material joys. Take all the novels in the world. What is the greatest love story in Europe? Romeo and Juliet. All right, chalo. The summum bonum of all love stories in Europe is Romeo and Juliet. Does it end as does it have a happy ending or does it have a tragic ending? Tragic ending. All right. So Jiva Goswami says Amita Rasa Shastra. Take all the unlimited Rasa Shastras of this world. Vyanji, whatever is expressed, Vaidagdhya, what expertise of love you can find there. Take all that expertise. Take all the love, romantic novels, and then find all the expertise. Tad anumapina vettum. Even a tiny atomic fraction of that cannot be experienced by kami lokaha, those who have material lust in this world. Those who have material lust cannot experience even that which is given in the romantic literature available in this world, dear devotees. Who here has had a similar story as Romeo and Juliet in their lives? Raise your hand. Who here has experienced even a tiny fraction of what Romeo or Juliet experienced? Wow. He should be given consolation prize. He claims he has experienced a little fraction of that. Okay, theek hai. Little fraction. But Romeo and Juliet is only one of them. Then there are so many in the world. If you take all of them together, how many have experienced a small fraction of that? Bolo. That is not. In material world also we cannot experience the entire range of emotions which these poets have described in the poetry. Tad akhilam api. Now take all of that romantic mundane expertise. Yasya prema sindhau na kinchit. It becomes insignificant in front of the ocean of prema that is found in Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. But once you experience that personally through the heart, then the heart realizes actually there is no such love to be found in the material world ever. No such love to be found. And once a person is convinced about the fact that this love is nowhere to be found, there is no chance of experiencing such love in this world. But it is so superior, rasa graho jana, that a person who has once accepted that rasa, vihatum ichen, will not desire to give it up. And then when we see the romantic affairs of this world, it's painful actually. I'm very honest, it's painful. Two people who grow to despise each other, in a romantic relationship. That is what the material world is all about. I'm being honest about it. So, if it is not to be found in this world, Because ultimately, what is lust? Ultimately, lust is a desire for finding companionship in this lonely universe, dear devotees. We are afraid of dying alone. And we want somebody else who can share their deepest secrets with us, so that our loneliness in this world is slightly reduced. This is what lust is all about, the sum and substance of lust. It's not about, it's not about the physical body in the end. It's about getting rid of that loneliness for some time that we are so deeply experiencing in this world. But once the jiva comes to know that it is not possible to get rid of this loneliness in this world, but there is a solution in Krishna Lila, and by hearing these descriptions I can have an indirect taste of what is going on there. Param drishtva. At this point of time, the jiva understands that there is something greater to be experienced. And when he actually experiences that greater thing, the knot in the heart is immediately undone. At this point of time, the devotee gives up lust. Kashayanna, not by wearing saffron cloth. Nacha bhojanadi niyaman. Don't treat the symptoms. Treat the root of the disease. That is what. Thank you. I hope that made sense to you. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes. And then we'll come to Mataji also. Or should we first go to the Vaishnavis, because since long they have. Let's go to them.
Thank you very much for everything. It was a very sobering information. You spoke about our desire for going back to Godhead. And can you just explain this process of relieving this pain when turning actually to a different goal in life?
Yeah.
Just some.
Let's say we decided today not to go back home, back to Godhead. We gave up the goal. So then what do we live for? That is the immediate next question. Tomorrow morning when I wake up for Mangal Arati, it's another day in the material world. And although, I have this process with me, but the goal I have given up. Going back to Godhead. Then I have to find a new goal now. So what could be my new goal if not going back home, back to Godhead? Huh?
To please Krishna.
To please Krishna, yes. That is first and foremost the feeling of now there is nothing in this world for which I have to live. First and foremost. Because this is why we were here, going back home, back. Many of us were here. At least I came because of that, I'll be honest. Somebody told me you can go back home, back to I liked it. So when it is not there, then what to do? Then there's nothing to live for, except for giving pleasure to Sri Krishna. And then if you happen to take another birth, that's okay. But this feeling within the heart that I wish to give pleasure to Krishna should not go away. It should be as intense as it is in this life. Then it's okay. Because happiness and suffering of the material world, they're like the seasons. But prema is permanent. Let's not be afraid of the material miseries, the hells described in the 5th canto, and so on and so forth. What is more important is that the prema should stay within our hearts. Wherever we are in this world, let that same intensity of prema be there as it is in this life. And let me never take birth in a universe where Sri Rupa Goswami has not appeared. Let me never take birth in a universe where Rupa Goswami has not. That will be the biggest disadvantage of my life. So only one condition. I am happy to take another birth, but wherever Rupa Goswami has appeared, in that universe, with the same intensity that I live in this life, that intensity is okay. Next life, okay to continue. So then Krishna becomes disarmed at this point of time. Because till now Krishna had this carrot hanging in front of us, back to Godhead. Now you disarmed Krishna. Now Krishna has to find you something more worthy to give. Right? That is why in Shastra he had said something, and I will specify this. Muktim dadati karhichit smana bhakti yogam. 5:6:18 Srimad Bhagavatam. Can you please read the final sentence loudly? Who has the mic? Yeah, Mataji, read.
Those engaged in getting the Lord's favor attain liberation from the Lord very easily, but He does not very easily give the opportunity to render direct service unto Him.
Why? Why does He not give so easily? It is only given to people who have given up the previous desire, the favor of liberation. To such people is prema given. It is not given to those who have padmaniti. So that is what we need to understand. After giving up the desire to go back home, back to Godhead, only one desire remains, and that is not a personal desire. That is the desire to please Krishna. Only that person can get Vrindavan. All others, Dwarka. I hope that satisfies your query. Prabhupada said you will go back to Godhead. He didn't say everyone will go back to Vrindavan. Godhead is a big term because it includes Dwarka also, right? It also includes Padma and all others who have many considerations. So, yadrishi bhavana yasya siddhir bhavati tadrishi. With the feeling with which we surrender, Krishna reciprocates. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva vajamyaham. As people surrender, I reciprocate. But I surrendered without anything, without any desire. Now what will you give Krishna? I trapped you in your own game. Now what will you give? You have nothing to give. That is what is to be understood by the devotees. I hope that is how you defeat Krishna. That is how bhakti conquers Krishna. One of the 6 qualities of bhakti is Shri Krishna Akarshini. She fully conquers Shri Krishna. That is because of the selflessness aspect. So I hope that clarifies. All right. Gaur Hari Prabhu. Is it straight dinner time or what?
I think the eagerness of the devotees have pushed the cook to always be late.
Okay. Is the cook listening to the talk or?
Maybe we can add that part.
No, but Prabhu had raised his hand. Did you ask your query, Prabhuji?
Yes, I want to add something.
Okay, then we will go there. Because he was waiting. Yes.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much for your presentation. I was having a little bit the same thoughts like Gaura Hari about how when actually we can see that we have made some progress in Bhakti Yoga, but still this lust is not gone, and basically the lust is, as far as I consider it, is not only refer to relationships between man and woman or something, but also, I mean, which is I experience is like, and this is also not because of pride or something that I want to have the best, something like a good bicycle or a good, I don't know, iPhone or something like this. So I was wondering where this lust is coming from, and maybe how this is also maybe more subtle. I don't know. How can we get rid of these things? Only just basically to follow the progress and still realize that we have these thoughts or these anatas, or how could we otherwise see such hankerings, or like having even if you have a nice car, you are thinking the other car is more nice, or
Yeah.
such things. So this is also still there, and it's, one of my problems maybe.
See, therefore I said the solution is to once experience Krishna Bhakti Ras directly. A direct experience of Krishna Bhakti Ras will immediately bring one to the conclusion that I can never have any such thing in my life. Never. How many, now I give a small example. Between Shri Radha and Krishna, the first stage of separation is called Purva Rag, where they are growing up, they want to speak to each other, but they can't speak because society is a barrier. So they look at each other from the corners of the eyes, they try to ask mutual friends, etc. This is one stage of love amongst millions. How many have experienced Purva Rag in its perverted reflection in their life? Please raise your hands. See, already less than half. How many have experienced man, sulkiness? Further down. How many have experienced pravas, the lover goes away? Further down. How many have experienced sudur pravas, the lover goes away for more than a decade? You can't have such experiences in this body. Body is not capable, the mind is not capable. But once, through the spiritualized body, through the spiritualized mind, an experience of rasa is given by some devotee, then you can understand that there is nothing like this in this world. Absolutely nothing. Now I can't convince you just by saying, you have to experience it yourself.
Thank you.
Once you have that experience personally, then it will be done. So that is the answer. Yes. Vaijayanti Mataji? Okay.
What was touching for me, it's in this discussion also, it seems we need to be trained again all together how to speak with Krishna, to give him pleasure. And it seems that Rupa Goswami, we need to be trained to enter Vrindavan. We don't want back to Godhead, but now we need to be trained.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask if you can also speak a little more how we can take advantage in practice of these verses in our practice, so that we can go in the direction.
How to take advantage of these verses in practice? These verses, every verse is a painting, basically. But it is a painting supposed to be created by a blind person. Try to understand this. When we are relishing the verses, we should close our eyes from the external vision, because the painting is supposed to be drawn on the canvas of the heart. You can take any verse from Sri Rupa Goswami and then take word by word, and every word should make sense, and then you draw that particular shade on the canvas of the heart. And then finally, when all the words have made sense, the painting is there within your heart. Like we were speaking about that verse where Krishna is, they're teasing the Krishna for playing the flute incorrectly. Hey Krishna. So like a blind man, oh Krishna. So on the canvas of our heart, we should have that child Krishna. Matra kucha chuchuka chushanai pi nalam. Nalam, you were unable to Chushane, even suckle upon. Kucha chuchuka, the breast nipple of your mother. And we should see that within our heart. Adharoshthaputam, your lower lip was faltering in that activity. Te nadyate katipayeshu dineshvakasmat. Using that same lower lip, suddenly, kasmat guror adhikatah kalavenu vada. Which guru did you learn this wonderful flute play from? When all the words are drawn on the canvas of the heart, you have what is technically known as sport, explosion. Because every word is supposed to give an explosion within the heart. And the final sport, the entire verse, is the image that is supposed to be hung on the walls of the heart. And when you memorize the verse, then you can recollect it any time and draw it again. And then memorize the verse and recollect at any point of time and draw it again. And memorize the verse and recollect it and draw it again. And in this way, in some time, you will become an expert artist. And once you are an expert artist and you have many paintings hung on the walls of your heart, it's easy to remember one of those paintings at the moment of death. Because the living entity is located in the heart. At the moment of death, all other senses may stop working. The final sense which remains is the sense of smaran, remembrance. Therefore, Krishna has placed the condition of death, anta kalecha mameva smaran, the final function that the living entity can perform when all the other senses have stopped working. And if a good painting is hanging on the walls of your heart, you look at that painting and take your final breath. Next time you open your eyes, you're directly with Sri Krishna. That's it. That's how you relish. All right. Yes. Lokapavani Devi.
Yes, I was just wondering, I want to understand actually, isn't it like what you describe now, it's that picture that we have in our heart, and also we have sensed some taste from the picture, it can be any picture, but it develops a desire in our heart because we want to also be in this picture in a way. Is that a selfish desire?
No.
Because we want happiness, because the soul is seeking happiness all the time.
So we want to participate in the picture, basically. Right now it is passive participation, we are only looking at it from a distance. But after drawing a sufficient number of pictures, our inclination towards certain types of pictures will start growing. Those types of pictures are to be specially nourished. So there are 5 stages of smaran which are described in Nectar of Instruction 8th verse purport. Dharana dhyan, you start meditating more naturally on those paintings which you like more, and you have a desire for active participation. Finally you come to the stage of samadhi where you can think of nothing else but that one particular fixed painting of which you want to be a part of. That stage of samadhi leads to Swarup Siddhi, attainment of one's eternal identity, and that is when active participation in the Leela begins within this life. So that is explained by Srila Prabhupada in the purport to the 8th verse. I will show a small sample of that so that we know it has come from Srila Prabhupada and not from my fertile brain. Lokapavani Devi, can you read this particular section?
Yes. By uninterrupted and unceasing anusmriti, one enters the stage of samadhi or spiritual trance. After smarana dasha or samadhi has fully developed, the soul comes to understand his original constitutional position. At that time, he can perfectly and clearly understand his eternal relationship with Krishna. That is called Sampati Dasha, the perfection of life.
So this is in the purport of 8th verse of Nectar of Instruction. We have to reach the stage of samadhi. The path of perfection goes through smaran. Therefore, smaran is in the name of the society. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Smaran is in the name of the society. It is the most important element of Raganuga Bhakti, Smaran. Although Kirtan is in general the most important element of this age. But for Raganuga Bhakti, the Acharyas make an exception and say Smaran is the most important element of Raganuga Bhakti. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur specifies that in Vrajariti Chintamani. I will quickly show this last reference, and then do we have time, Prabhu, or do we have to stop? Okay, theek hai, chalo, no problem. In Vrajariti Chintamani, Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur very clearly says something which I want to show in his original Sanskrit. Oh, sorry, it's Rag Vartma Chandrika, not Vrajariti Chintamani. Yeah. Yes. Pratamataha Krishna Smaran. First and foremost, learn to remember Krishna. If you are practicing Raganuga Bhakti, want to practice, first and foremost, learn to remember Krishna. Iti smaranasya atra raganugayam mukhyatvam. This means that Smaran is the main element of Raganuga Bhakti. This is very clearly mentioned by Acharya Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Now, just because Smaran is there doesn't mean that we cut down on Kirtan. So, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says later, Atra Raganugayam. Now, in Raganuga Bhakti, Yan Mukhyasya Tasyapi Smaranasya, whatever Smaran was spoken as the main limb, Kirtana Dhinatvam Avashyam Vaktavyam. Still, it should be performed under the guidance of Kirtan. So Kirtan should be there. What is the meaning of Kirtan? Sing the verses of the previous Acharyas. Was this not Kirtan? Yes or no? Yes. Kirtan. Sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Yes. Because we have shortened the definition of Kirtan only to Nam Kirtan. Guna Kirtan, Leela Kirtan, Rupa Kirtan, all the verses of Rupa Goswami are Kirtan. Sing all of the verses. It facilitates Smaran. It's very natural. Kirtan facilitates Smaran, Smaran facilitates more Kirtan, Kirtan facilitates Smaran, Smaran facilitates more Kirtan. Don't just isolate yourself in Smaran. Also have a healthy culture of singing the verses. Which verses should you sing? Question. Answer. The verses which are dear most to you. The most essential verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. 11.2.14. In the opinion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this is the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. Evam vratah sva priya nama kirtya jatanu rago drutachitta uchchai hasatyatho roditi rauti gayatyunmadavan rityati lokabhaya. 11.2.40. Evam vratah. Thus you have taken a vow of singing and remembering sva priya nama. Which nama? Sva priya. What is the meaning of sva priya? That name which is dearmost to you. That freedom is yours. Question. Should this name be only from Shastra? Or can it be names which are sung in poetry by the great devotee poets? Answer. It can be any one of them. Shrinvan Subhadrani Rathanga Paner Janmani Karmani Cha Yani Loke. Even in Loka, even in this world, those names, forms, qualities and pastimes that are sung, they can be your favorite pastimes. Not simply from Shastra, also those which are sung by the poets in this world. But the poet should be like-minded to you in your sampradaya. So, recommended is one who has similar mood to Srila Rupa Goswami. So that, like we were yesterday, Sri Gadadhar Bhatt, similar mood to Sri Rupa Goswami. So listen. So you will have very nice remembrance. It can become your favorite. Let's say today Maharaj describes the thrilling end of the Holy Leela and somebody decides this is my favorite. You have the freedom to sing it again and again. And then meditate upon it again and again. Draw the paintings on the wall of your heart. Perfect your life. Going back to Godhead is a side effect of perfect. That's it. One of the 6 qualities of bhakti is moksha laghutakrit. She should make liberation insignificant. By the time she perfects herself, she should make liberation extremely insignificant. Moksha Lagutakrit. This is the fourth characteristic of Uttama Bhakti. That is what we are supposed to do. Alright? Wrong?
I think we have to stop because I heard the Prasadam is already in the tent.
Okay.
Just a very short information. We are not sure what are the plans of the deities for the holy program. It looks the weather is not somewhat friendly, so it might happen that the deities come out and that we will have a possibility to respect the color and share the color. We will have one area, a Dvarka area, where you can just then we will see who is actually more favorable for Dvarka or for Just if you are around, it might happen around 3:30. So if you hear the drums going on, that means the deities are coming out and the celebration will take place.
Is Gali allowed?
Yes.
वो सिखाना पड़ेगा पहले.
Can I please just talk to you? Hare Krishna, just please one second. It's a very technical question. Hare Krishna, I missed this. I was chasing this verse for a long time. I couldn't find it. You know, you spoke about how liberation. I said it's not favorable, but then it's not disturbing Bhakti, it's not contradictory, something, you know, like this. And then you went on speaking about Vairagya and Jnana in the same group. As you quoted Bhagavatam, that is where it says too much attachment for material things makes religion tendency for karma and all that. You quoted this, but after it, you quoted who said also something about in the beginning Vairagya is alright, or Vairagya is alright if it doesn't disturb the Bhakti. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yes.